So, hi everybody. What an audience. I'm super excited to be here with everybody. When I was invited, I was like, wow, like what an opportunity. I was super honored to be in the Gen AI conference and presenting at the National Opera House. So, amazing. I was thinking with all the sophisticated audience and everybody like you being here and all the other amazing speakers, what can I offer? So how can I give value to you today? So I said, okay, I'm just going to try to make it personal and give you something out of my experience in the day-to-day. So let's start with the basics. For 200,000 years, the human body as a hardware hasn't really evolved. Like as Homo sapiens, we're an amazing species, but we haven't really evolved. So because we're not that strong or not that fast, we started innovating. So we first innovated the wheel. So we started with the wheel, and we were able to go faster and go to further places and carry a lot of load. And then we innovated cars and airplanes, and we had all these amazing tools that they were giving us superpowers. And now we've created a new technology. We've innovated again as a humanity, and we created AI. And there's a lot of debate about is AI going to replace us? So today I'm going to be speaking how in Dialectica we're thinking about AI and how we believe that actually humans are going to be collaborating with agents, and that's the future. Wow, it's amazing. It only has next and back, so it's super easy to use. So let me first talk to you a little bit about me and why I'm here. And why this is all relevant to me. So my story started like 20 years ago when I was at the university, super inspired about Iron Man movie and Terminator, and I wanted to build Skynet myself. So I started working with robots, so real steel. We didn't have fancy chatbots back then, and I loved it. I was obsessed with robotics overall. So I said, fine. This is where I want to spend the rest of my life. But actually, AI and algorithm really won me over. So I spent the rest of my career more or less building algorithms on steroids and in huge deployments. And we were always focusing around AI algorithms. But with everything that happened over the last 2-3 years, I saw the opportunity, and that's why I'm here now in Dialectica, and I'm going to explain in more detail what we do. Wow, the next opportunity is building algorithms that work alongside humans, because now we're going to have algorithms that are thinking, and that's super, super critical. So before we move further, let me explain how I believe agents look today. So for me, agents are software programs that are having extremely complicated algorithms that we somehow attribute the name of AI, and they're able to process vast amounts of data and do extremely complicated tasks and use tools nowadays. So that's how I describe an AI agent. On the other side, we have humans, and humans are able to make decisions, have context, and context is really, really important, as we're going to see later. So by the way, we're amazing as humans because we have context, and now all of you here, you see me, and you start making some subconscious results like, yeah, he's at late 30s, he's a little bit of a geek, he already mentioned Iron Man and Terminator. So, okay, so that's actually what an agent cannot do. Let me tell you why also. What's the big difference between agents and humans? So now, if we wanted to predict the stock market next month, an agent can tell you, like based on my prediction, the stock market is really going to boom and it's going to go crazy. It's up to the human to make the decision. And some of you will say, yes, an agent can also execute the decision. Yes, indeed, agents today can execute decisions, but they cannot make decisions. A human will program the decision. So that's a big difference. And also, what we've seen, and it's already mentioned in a lot of panels, that we've seen that a lot of the AI projects deployed in the big enterprise out there has failed so far. Yes, it has failed, and now we know why it has failed, because they were just using a generic algorithm to build, to solve super specialized problems. Okay, so again, agents need context. That's what we know already. And it's not just us. We see now the latest releases from the big tech are focusing on context. They're trying to make agents way better on understanding context. Like, I don't know if you saw, last week, Gemini 3 released, and they were advertising how amazing it is on context. And that's the new trend. So agents, understanding context is a new big thing, because right now, that's where they fail. Also, hallucinations. I'm sure you've all experienced it. I don't want to go deep. And yes, finally, they don't really make decisions because they don't have their own needs. So what we're doing in Dialectica. In Dialectica, we're trying to find extremely hard to find experts. Let's say you want to dissolve a nuclear plant. I'm sure only a couple of people around the globe are available to do that. You cannot Google them, so you call Dialectica. Okay, it sounds like a complicated task. So how are we going to build the future of that? With AI. We said, fine, we need something deep. And for that, we built what is our reactor. I mean, when I was building that slide, I was thinking of Iron Man and how Iron Man has the suit, and it's powered by the reactor that he has on his chest. So that was my thinking. So what powers Dialectica is a knowledge graph, and I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about how that works and why it's important for us. Because this is the place where humans and agents work and live together. So from the knowledge that we've been accumulated for the last decade, we build a graph that on top of that, humans and agents are collaborating, they're exchanging context, and that's a very, very, very transparent way for them to work and accomplish tasks together. So what we're doing, let's take the example of the nuclear plant. So you're getting, a human operator is getting assigned the task of dissolving a nuclear plant. Wow, okay, let's do that. I'm calling my agents, I'm giving the task to them. They break it down into simple tasks. They go into the graph, they try to find out points of knowledge that they can understand, and they look similar to them. They start doing a little bit of reasoning on each of their nodes. And then we take all the data through a master agent and we synthesize that. So as simple as that. Yes, I mean, okay, lots of mathematics, a lot of training, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, it's based on first principles. It's graphs, and we humans are really good at graphs. So that's what we're doing. We started rethinking how humans and agents are going to work together, because what we realized was that, yeah, okay, a new era is coming, agents are becoming more critical, we can see them everywhere, but how are we going to put them working together with our colleagues? So we completely rethought the flow. And not only that, we said, it's not just providing you with a tool. And that was a critical, eye-opening moment for us. And again, I'm going to go and talk about something personal because, okay, I'm the CTO of Dialectica. One of the first things I did when tools became available, AI coding tools, I said, okay, all of my colleagues are going to start working with those amazing tools. Everybody was super happy. I'm sure a lot of you have already used the AI coding tools that are available, free or paid. So we were super excited. We started coding like crazy. And for the first 2 months, we were like, yes, everything happens, it's so cool, it's so amazing, they work. But I have a personal obsession to measure everything. So after 2 months, I sat down with my team and we started reviewing the results. And what we saw was that actually our team was losing in productivity by using AI agents for coding. So I was like, I don't believe that. Maybe something is wrong with the data, maybe something that we do wrong, like something is broken. So I started looking at the industry and I started speaking with other companies. What's going on? Why the data shows that we're losing productivity instead of gaining productivity with AI tools. So I started realizing that big tech, everybody in the industry was looking at this and they were like, yes, Michael, this is what we also see. But it was too new, like we didn't know why this was happening. So then we realized that the problem was we were thinking on the old way of developing code and not the new way, where you have a new collaborator, a new agent working alongside you, doing pair programming, let's say. So we took that finding and we tried to transfer the same concept to the rest of the operations, sales, operations, and marketing. And what we did, we ran a huge training program within Dialectica. We trained more than 1,000 people in more than 15 workshops. And let me tell you what we saw. We saw that people after that, they started really using the tools. They started really developing on top of the tools. We started seeing all the curves like skyrocketing, like people needed training to trust the tool and also ask simple questions like what happens to the data? Am I allowed to do that? Is it cheating to bring an agent to my work? So that was the big move. And if you forget anything I've said today, that's the most important thing. You don't just ask people to use a better tool, you train them, because that's a completely new flow. And maybe some of you remember when we had Microsoft Excel and we started using Google Spreadsheets at some point in time. Google Spreadsheets back then on the early release didn't even have formulas, but we liked it because it was a different flow. So that's how you need to think about AI agents. It's something fundamentally different. It can bring the productivity gains. We see it, we measure it, but it's not like just take the tool and be more productive. So because I'm running out of time, what I believe, like I'm trying here to summarize. So since the algorithms are getting dominated by the big tech, and it's obvious that we won't be able to have a lot of startups in the future. Maybe we do, but at least what I see and the expectation is that algorithms are going to be dominated by the big tech. The next most important thing seems to be data. So all of you that have companies that have data, that you create data or accumulate data, then you have the new gold. So my recommendation would be make sure to map it out, have them available, and create a knowledge graph. Again, graphs are supernatural for humans, not tabular data. So with that data, then we can have agents working on top of that. So Iron Man. I know I've mentioned Iron Man a couple of times, and that's super important for me because I imagine agents as Iron Man. So what is Iron Man? Iron Man is an amazing suit that Tony Stark has created, and Tony Stark is the innovator, and he's managing the suit, he's giving the orders to the suit, and the suit can fly, and Tony Stark has superpowers. So at the end of the day, the suit is the agent, Tony Stark makes the decisions, so Tony Stark at the end of the day is the hero. And that's the important message here. Like, Tony Stark is the hero, you are the heroes. So now that we have all these amazing tools, we should all build. Thank you very much. έχω χρόνο. Τέλεια, έχω και χρόνο για 2 ερωτησούλες. Έχουμε καμιά ερώτηση? Δεν βλέπω. Α, ένα χέρι εκεί στο βάθος. Ωραία, ωραία, βλέπω. Okay, I heard the question. I'm going to repeat it. So how exactly did we measure that productivity went down, and how did we measure that productivity went up again? So I mentioned productivity in the coding flow to be very, very specific. Like, okay, we're measuring productivity overall, but the example I mentioned was specifically about coding productivity. So we measure all the standard metrics that are available in the market, like as a subset of the DORA metrics. So like we were following those metrics. We saw how just by using AI tools, this metric shifted. And when we started doing workshops internally and educating people better, we started seeing that going back. So we had the same set of metrics. And it was very clear on time when the new tool became available to the organization, and when after the trainings it started coming back. We have a question here. Okay, so after. Perfect. So the question is how, what was the resistance and how we managed to turn that. So the resistance mainly was fear. As I mentioned at the beginning, there's a lot of fear that AI is going to replace us, and people actually didn't know if they could trust AI to upload some documents or make questions. So all of these were critical, and by doing the training, we were able to address those fears. And we started adjusting the training the more we were getting feedback. That's it. Last question, and that's it. I need to go. Okay, about issues on oh, yeah, on the quality, overall quality, because we're not using just for code. Yes, and that's why we have humans to work alongside. As I mentioned, like humans are there to correct and work with the agent. Because yes, agent works according to a specific algorithm and they have a very, very specific reasoning. So I think that's it. Thank you very much.